Friends needs no introduction. It was one of the most popular sitcoms that ran from 1994 to 2004. It was centered around six friends: Ross, Rachel, Joey, Chandler, Monica, and Phoebe, living in Manhattan and dealing with the highs and lows of the personal and professional spheres. And it left a lasting impact on serialized storytelling in general and, of course, pop culture history. I don't think I grew up watching Friends because A, it didn't reach Siliguri. Yeah, the cable operator in my area was like that. And B, because I was more into cartoons by the time it did get here. In fact, it was during my college days, 2014, 2015, that I actually came around to it. So there was no nostalgia attached to it. I just watched it, I relived it through the memes and gifs, but that's it. I never rewatched it, like never. Then recently the reunion was announced. So I thought, yeah, could there be a better time to rewatch it? No. And I did it. Within 1 week, I tore through all 10 seasons of the show, then I watched the reunion, and now I am here to share my brief thoughts. Yes, brief, because it's 10 seasons. If I talk about every season in detail, it will be something, and the world isn't ready for it. I knew that there are a lot of takes out there about whether the show has aged well and how homophobic and transphobic it is. So I didn't want to repeat that because, well, of course, a show made in the 90s and early 2000s won't age well. And it is a fact that it has problematic elements in it. Therefore, I watched it with one primary element in mind, that is humor. How many times is it making me actually laugh? And a secondary element, that is emotion. How many times is it hitting me in the feels? I know! Who would have thought about that? So, let's begin. But wait a minute. Before I do that, I gotta give you the sit through the credits reminder. Because the show is more than David Schwimmer, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matthew Perry, and Matt LeBlanc. You consider yourself a Friends fan, right? Can you tell the names of the showrunners without looking? Without looking! If your answer is yes, you're amazing. If it isn't, do a rewatch and sit through the credits. Oh, and also like and share this video and subscribe button daba do, please, huh? Okay, now let's begin. I'm going to be honest with you, the first season didn't really grab me. I know that it was an instant hit when it came out, but yeah, it didn't do anything for me. I think I mini laughed a total of 14 to 15 times. It had 24 episodes. That means not even one laugh per episode. I really liked the lost in translation comedy from Joey and Phoebe, especially Phoebe. I thought that Chandler had some of the best lines. His self awareness allowed the jokes or the comedic moments to settle in your mind. I found Ross to be very annoying, Rachel too. And I'm going to say it, I never got the chemistry between Ross and Rachel. Sorry. Oh, yeah, Monica was alright. I really related to her love for cleanliness because I too love to keep things clean and symmetrical. Joey and Phoebe's jokes and Chandler's sarcasm make for some of the best moments in the show. Joey becoming a literal cowboy to get some more customers to buy his perfume is great, and the moment where he walks into a sunset is some clever use of the set. The way Phoebe forces Ross to question his entire scientific background is a little anti science, but undeniably funny. The girl thinking that Joey is actually Drake Ramore and Joey trying to get rid of her is hilarious. And it gets funnier when the group convinces her that Joey is actually Drake's evil twin or something. Oh, yes, the show is always funny when the group is together. Every time they're broken into twos or threes, it gets sucky. But when they're together and doing all kinds of physical comedy and whatnot, it clicks. Like the episode where they have to keep Rachel's parents apart is a great example of that. Joey and Phoebe are still great. I think the showrunners kind of did Janice dirty, don't you think? Yeah, she cheated on Chandler once. The group has done things that are worse than that. So, seeing her and Chandler have a good little run actually made me happy. The episode where Ross gets increasingly frustrated as the group doesn't get dressed for his charity event and gets distracted by the fight for the chair or what they're going to wear is great and highly relatable. The tape of Bacha Ross dressed as a lady actually got me, as it momentarily countered the homophobia in the show. Joey becoming a carpenter and cutting Chandler's door in a weird way, causing him to fall over, made me laugh for a solid 2 minutes. The Geller Cup is amazing. I think it is one of my favorite episodes. The group buying all the dead Christmas trees to keep Phoebe's heart is too cute. The prop department deserves a round of applause for Phoebe's dollhouse. If they have an unburned copy of it, I will take it. Ben Stiller knocks it out of the park with his cameo, and the ending of Joey's play essentially being the plot of Interstellar did get me thinking if Joey is the real Dominic Cobb. So, yeah, romance, bad, group activities, good. Joey, Chandler, and Monica describing the jellyfish incident has to be one of the funniest moments in TV history. Joey and Trigger's dance routine is beautiful, it is really well done. The quiz, which costs Monica and Rachel their apartment, is perfectly written. I think this is where the show essentially peaked, and it kind of stays at this peak by allowing the characters to live through its repercussions. For example, the morning is here singer and Phoebe thinking she's controlling the TV by blinking. Too good, too good. Also, I like when anyone tries to snap back at someone else but fails at it because it's not properly thought through. It kind of maintains the illusion that we are actually watching the lives of these six people and not a scripted show where everyone knows what they have to say because it's scripted. However, every single time it delves into Ross and Rachel's romance, well, I'll let the great Hugh Laurie describe it.
Oh! I'm sorry, can I interrupt? Yeah, I just want to say that you are a horrible, horrible person.
I don't know if it was this noticeable in the previous seasons, but in this season it becomes pretty evident that the showrunners thought that shouting equals good comedy. The two times that it properly works is when Joey has his kidney stones taken out and when Ross learns about the fate of his sandwich. And it kind of works when Joey is on the edge due to the whole Ross can't see Rachel because Emily doesn't want him to situation and justifies it by saying that he's an actor. But that's it. Some of the other stuff that cracked me up are Joey and Monica being the turkey stuffing, Joey's I am disgusting bit in order to hide Monica and Chandler's kinks, Ross's leather pants, and the competition between Team Rachel, Joey, and Phoebe and Team Monica and Chandler to see who is going to accept that Monica and Chandler are dating. And one of the most wholesome moments in this season is Joey making a fake section in his show after knowing that he has been cut out of it in order to save his grandmother from a heartbreak. What? I'm getting old. I like sappy shit. Take a hike. The running jokes in this season are will Chandler and Monica actually get married and Ross and Rachel's annulment. One of them has a wholesome ending and the other is just creepy. The bit where Joey breaks the door because the key is stuck in it is hilarious. Personally speaking, it should have been the centerpiece of that episode because people getting locked out of the apartment is very common, and then Joey doing that would have been an amazing payoff. Missed opportunity, I guess. The other stuff that got me laughing are Chandler's redemption arc, Rachel's dessert, Chandler turning out to be dead inside, and Bruce Willis. In fact, the Bruce Willis part is so good that it kind of made me sad that he's doing such bleh movies nowadays. The man has such impeccable comedic timing, or had, I don't know. Someone please motivate him to do action comedies again. But yeah, this is where the show kind of loses its quality with the repetitive recaps and alternative timeline episodes. Oh yeah, there's no point doing separate sections post season 6 because there ain't enough laughs to fill them up. Apologies in advance. The bit with Joey and Rachel fighting over who has gotten the better deal and it ending with Joey getting a head rush is hilarious. One trope that never loses its charm is the gang telling each other secrets to not be the laughing stock. The Maid of Honor and Best Man championships are handled brilliantly. Ooh, the race to get the wedding dress is top notch comedy. Joey crying about everyone turning 30 is bittersweet. The Brad Pitt episode is fun until it gets kinda transphobic. Monica and Chandler's wedding being officiated by Joey is so awesome that it is where the show should have ended. Phoebe traumatizing Ben by swearing at the Pac Man machine is good, really good. Danny DeVito's appearance is one for the history books. That said, here's the thing. The show ends strong and kind of makes all of its problematic bits feel inconsequential. Hell yes, I was crying during the final moments of the show. And that's why Friends is what it is. I am completely aware of the extent of Friends fandom. So the question, who is this for, was out of the window. The two things that the reunion aimed to do, at least in my opinion, are making the cast and fans laugh and hit them in the feels. If you're thinking that I planned out the parameters of my rewatch / review of the 10 seasons because I knew that they are going to be the pillars of the reunion, thank you so much, but you think too highly of me. But yes, that is what the reunion was trying to do, and as a renewed fan of the show, I think Ben Winston, the director of this 105-minute long session, has done a killer job. I was crying as soon as the cast got together, like properly crying. I'm not a big fan of real life reunions, but I guess the emotions were really raw since I had just finished my rewatch, and seeing them get all mushy broke the dams. I think it rectified one of the show's biggest problems, that is the whiteness and homophobia, by bringing in fans of various ethnicities and sexualities to talk about their favorite episodes and characters. It's a small thing, but it is something. The recreation of the quiz episode was so good. They tweaked it enough to both be a callback and a platform to cameo the supporting cast. The cast reacting to the bloopers had me laughing till my sides ached. Cameos from celebrities who are fans of the show were sweet, especially the one with Lady Gaga. And seeing the cast cry after reminiscing how they cried during the finale had me sobbing. मतलब एकदम properly. देखो, the show is simple, it always intended to be so, and it excelled at being exactly that. इसीलिए you can tune into it anytime you want and just mindlessly watch it and have a few laughs. अब बाकी देशों का पता नहीं, but in India अगर कोई Friends देख के देश का बिगड़ता हालत के साथ जूझने का शक्ति पा रहा है, I'll say good for them. As for the reunion itself, I think it is one of the best reunions I have seen in my lifetime, and I have a very simple way of judging things. If it makes me cry, it's good. In conclusion, Friends is on Netflix, जाओ देखो, और उसके बाद Z5 पे reunion देखो. अगर मेरे जैसा कठोर दिल इंसान इसका फैन हो सकता है, तो I think you can be too. So, what are your thoughts on Friends and the reunion? Comments में बताओ. अगर मेरा ये rewatch / review अच्छा लगा तो लाइक और शेयर करो. नहीं अच्छा लगा तो भी कर दो ना यार. टैक्स तो नहीं लग रहा है. And of course, stay healthy and stay safe.